So if you're on a high carb plant-based diet, doesn't carbohydrate increase your insulin and disrupt your energy mode and activate mTOR? Well, yes and no. It depends on exactly what you're doing. Insulin is well established to activate mTOR. That's really not a question. There are many steps that come in between, but insulin is going to do that. So because of that, if you're on a plant-based diet, what you really have to do, if you want to get these benefits of the energy mode consistently, is go on some kind of a fast. Longo is one of, if not the most prominent researcher on the benefits of fasting. He knows all about how the ketogenic metabolism inhibits mTOR and induces autophagy and does all these wonderful regenerative things that we want. However, because he believes that a high-carb plant-based diet is the healthiest diet, he would never advocate for doing that all the time. So instead, what you have to do is periodically do these long fasts. They have to be 5 days because it takes a long time before you even get to the autophagy phase. And so his company Prolong has provided a way for you to fast by buying their kits in which you eat these packets of very low protein, very low calorie and glucose, but not enough when you eat only what's provided to enable you to get ketogenic. Another way that a plant-based diet is sometimes believed to help with inhibiting mTOR has to do with phytochemicals. And it encapsulates the whole scientifically overturned idea that the compounds in plants are providing antioxidation, which could help with longevity. So the idea used to be that you have too much oxidation in your body, and therefore if we provide plants that have known antioxidant compounds in them, you can overcome that oxidation and thereby increase your lifespan. It is wrong for a couple of reasons. First of all, phytochemicals are xenobiotics. Xeno means foreign, right? And so the body, as soon as you see these phytochemicals, it says, hey, this is not something that we recognize. We don't want it in our body, and therefore we do everything we can do not to absorb it. So basically almost all of phytochemicals are excreted as soon as possible. Reactive oxygen species. And usually when you see it in a paper, it'll be in this big BAM star, like, look out, oxidation, trouble. But we actually know that oxidation is a powerful, important signal. And as long as everything's working correctly, it's not actually something that's causing a problem. It can run rampant, but it normally doesn't. This is a cartoon of the electron chain transport system, and we don't really need to understand the details of it, but just notice that whenever you're making energy in your mitochondria, you are also making oxidation. And for a while, I think we considered this a leak, as if like billions of years of evolution on our energy-making systems made the mistake of giving all this garbage at the same time. But actually, it's an important signal, because the more energy you're making, the more of this oxygenation you're making, and that quantitatively tells the cell a status of how much energy you have. And so, in other words, the more oxidation you have, when you have enough, you will become insulin resistant. Now here's the point where I might lose everybody for a second, but stay with me. Insulin resistance is actually good at the level of the cell, because what it's saying is, I don't need any more fuel. I'm satiated. And we all need our bodies to be satiated at certain points. So the oxidation goes up. It says, you've got enough energy. Please don't let in any more glucose. We're good. And this is actually self-perpetuating, because if you've got a cell and it's turned off the ability to take in more glucose by becoming insulin resistant, but you have a lot of free fatty acids circling around, those can come into the cell, and as long as you're using those, you're generating more oxidation, and you'll stay insulin resistant as long as there are fatty acids available. So if you're on a ketogenic diet, this is basically your perpetual state. This is physiological insulin resistance. It's completely reversible. As soon as the fatty acids go away, you will again open up and be available to take glucose.